Sure, that's easy.
Okay.
We're back live.
Do, do, do,
Okay.
do, do,
So,
do, and
as
we're
I
back
was
live.
saying, so Chandler did 2 years. And I want to say,
Yes.
again, I want to say thank you to Susan, thank you to Valerie,
Oh
and
my
all of her
goodness.
staff.
And Jan, yeah.
What a great time we had at the Miss Texas pageant. And I know the crew, you enjoyed it as well, because I reached out to you, and you said, it really was a good segment until 9:10 when we lost the audio.
Yeah.
Which we've learned from that on our
Which we know what
on-site
to do
remote
now.
now. Yeah, we got that down. So, but Mallory will be joining us here
Remotes are us.
shortly. We got a thumbs up from Brett, who I called Brad. And so we're going to tap that, Brad. Tap, tap,
Yeah,
tap, tap, tap.
we're
like
in a
Brad.
text message chat.
But his name
and
is Brett.
I'm making sure everybody's got, Brett's going to be new to the team here at Venture X Studios. And I wanted to make sure that JP and Charles and everybody had his contact information. And JP's like, I think it's Brad.
I thought he said Brad.
And then Brett's on the feed. He goes, people have said that before, but it is Brett. So thanks for asking.
You know what's sad about
was
that?
a funny exchange.
You know what's sad about it? He wasn't even wearing a mask. Like, I couldn't use he was wearing a mask.
Oh, so you couldn't understand.
Right.
That reminds me, that's a good topic now that people are not, you're seeing
For you to
fewer
have
and few
with
people
CJ?
wearing masks. Huh?
For you to have with CJ?
No, I'm saying for us on our future
Oh.
show.
You think people care?
The mask thing, because especially the younger folks who really got used to that, is it different now? Are you still, there are some people who are still wearing the mask. I've got some friends who are vaccinated and they're like still wearing the mask.
Well, all I know is I got hit a lot during this time frame.
Like hit a lot.
Yeah, by
Hit
women.
on?
No, by women. I got hit a lot.
Like
physically.
smack?
Yeah. Because I think they were saying I wanted their sex, and that's not what I was saying.
What were you saying?
I wanted their text.
Oh.
And I said, it's the mask. Why'd you hit me? You said you wanted my
There you
sex. I
go.
didn't say that. I said text. Liar.
And
I
there's
probably
that.
was lying. I'm kidding. I didn't.
And
do that.
there's that. No,
That
please.
didn't
You're a
happen.
gentleman. Your mom will smack you, come down from heaven and smack you.
She would.
She raised you better.
Plus, she hangs out with me anyway.
She raised you better.
She did. All right. So, also, as we get through the show, it's the 4th of July.
Yes,
And so, here's
be
the
safe
big
and
question.
blessed,
Do you
please.
like them wet or do you like them dry? That'll be the question that we
Oh,
debate
my
as we get
goodness.
further down the road.
It's about food.
Well, no, Kathy wouldn't let me put women.
It's about
Anyways.
food.
So,
it's about barbecue.
Do we
which-
have Mallory with us this morning already? Because she was supposed to
she
be.
was going to be on at 8. Oh, yeah, it's 8:17.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Well,
excellent,
let her
excellent.
in the door. And I can't get on the internet. I am
I
disappointed.
see. There's Miss Texas. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, listen here, Mallory. You and I've got a bone to pick. I'm letting you know right now. You knew this was coming. Studying over me? Really? Wow.
School. Can we get her picture up on the full
I
screen?
and now, Mallory, here's the thing. You're not going to be able to see us because we're not super fancy high tech yet where we have double cameras on our laptops. So, but we can see you, and you are stunning, by the way. As always.
Well, we're smiling at you. We are smiling at you, and we're about to get your beautiful face up on the screen so everybody can see.
Can we put you on the screen or no? Are we allowed?
She's got her crown and her sash on, so yes.
Hey, wow, that's an assumption.
Well,
Wow.
come on.
Jeez, Kathy.
She's preparing for the Miss America competition in December.
Mallory,
she's got to be
I'm
camera
defending
ready.
you, Mallory. I've got your vow. I'm your man. I got you. Wow.
Oh.
All right. So, how exciting was it to be back in the pageant world as normal, right? I mean, Chandler Foreman did 2 years. Pageant gets canceled. Pandemic is horrible. And then it felt like everything was back to normal. How did you feel? How did it feel to be back with the ladies?
It felt really, really good to be back normal. I have been competing. This was actually my 4th time to compete at Miss Texas, but if you count the year of COVID, it was 5 years. And so it's always my favorite thing to do every year is to go to Miss Texas and compete. And so being back in person after having to take a year off from COVID was so much fun. And I just absolutely love getting to compete and getting to hang out with all of the girls. So it felt so good to be back in person.
So did you kind of have an idea that, hey, you know what, I think I got it this year? Like I'm looking at the competition and I'm Mallory and I love the ladies, but I think I got this one this year.
I was really at peace going into the week, and it was a weird feeling of peace that I've never had before. But of course, all of the women who compete are absolutely phenomenal, and so there's never a guarantee going in. And so I was at peace with who I was as a person, but you never really know what the judges are going to be looking for. And so while I felt really good about who I was and what I was bringing to the table, no, there was no guarantee.
Well, never a guarantee, but I mean, just that feeling. You know, when I would go into a sporting event, I always had a feeling, right? Now, of course, my mother always taught me, make it happen. You dream about it. You see it happen. You visualize it.
Oh, yes.
And so I would do that, right? Before I go into a wrestling match, before I would get on the football field, before I get on the soccer field or the baseball field or in the pool, because those are the sports I played, I would always visualize. So were you able to visualize and see yourself achieving Miss Texas?
I was, and that's something that I have been taught to do as well. I know that you all know my sister Madison. She's been on the show a couple of times, and so I was able to watch Madison do the job of Miss Texas. And after watching her and being able to see all the things that she got to do, I think it really did give me a insight look into what the job of Miss Texas is. And so, yes, I was able to visualize that. But nothing will prepare you for the feeling that you have when they call your name. I don't even really remember what I was thinking or what was going through my mind, but just a little bit of disbelief. And to be honest, it's still kind of setting in.
Sure.
It still doesn't. But yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
Oh, I want to steal your thunder. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I want to do it. Don't do it. Kathy's going to steal my thunder.
Oh, no. I was going to say, first of all, yeah, the competition, congratulations. And we are so excited to get to work with you this year. Was just thrilled when they called your name. It was very tough competition. You know, I had the honor of judging one of the spring workshop sessions when y'all did the impromptu speaking. And I remember sitting there thinking, the judges have such a huge task because you've got women who are obviously beautiful but just extremely intelligent, have extreme hearts to serve. Everyone was stunning. Then when I saw talent competitions at some of the prelims this year, it was really tough competition. And what I liked about you the whole time, Mallory, obviously you're extremely talented. You're a beautiful young lady. You've got a heart of gold. You've got a very much a humility, a very humble way about you. And I just think that really spoke to what you said earlier. You were very at peace going into the competition. So we've already got, when you come back in studio, if you can say hi to Piper and to Kayla, because they both want autographed copies. They're two young women who follow our show. Oh, was that what you were going to say?
That was my thunder. Yeah, okay, they're thunder chops. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I got your number. Don't worry, when Mallory comes in the studio, she's sitting next to me.
Oh, and I knew that was happening.
Yeah.
I knew that was happening.
Absolutely. All right.
She's like, oh, no, I think I'm busy with school the rest of the year.
Oh, really? Well, we'll have to help her out. Hey, so all right, I'm going to start the Miss Barbecue Texas pageant, right?
That's so exciting. I can't wait.
So you've got to be one of the judges for the Miss Barbecue Texas pageant.
Okay, I can do that.
Because that'll feed into the Miss Texas pageant.
I love it.
And Kathy wanted to send her with a scepter of ribs. I'm like, you don't do that with women.
I thought it would be fun.
Can you see a woman walking into the Miss Texas pageant with a scepter of ribs?
Well, you're the director of that portion of the pageant, so you tell us. You're the director.
You don't give him a scepter of ribs.
You're the director. You know you're going to be competing against the director who's a former Miss Texas who does the cheese and...
it's called a charcuterie.
Charcuterie,
wow.
Thank you. I blanked out
Mallory,
on the name.
Mallory, wow. We need your help over there, Mallory.
Not enough coffee.
So here's the big question. The 4th of July is coming. What does Miss Texas do on the 4th of July?
Oh, yeah.
4th of July. I don't have any plans yet for 4th of July. I think we're working on a few things. But as of right now, I'm going to go enjoy some fireworks.
There you go. All right. Happy birthday to America. So here's the big question for you. The question of the day for JP, Kathy, and the crew: wet or dry?
Barbecue. Like, do you like the dry rub?
Hello, I walked into that
Do
with Miss
you
Texas
like
Barbecue.
that?
I gave her a hint.
Well, okay.
Well, I don't have an answer for you on that one.
No, you have to. So do you like brisket? Do you eat brisket or no? Are you vegetarian?
No, I'm not vegetarian.
Okay, so you're a meatitarian. Do you eat brisket?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so do you like your brisket wet or do you like it dry? Do you like the ends where they're kind of charred a little bit, or do you like it chopped? And what's that?
But
Wet. There you go. Wet barbecue for Miss Texas. All right. And the crew will get to debate that later.
Yes, we're going to be talking about that. And then also as a child, because we're going to be talking about this. Now we know, okay, yes, if unless you live in certain parts of the state, that fireworks on your own driveway are illegal. We all did them when we were little kids. Was there like any kind of, not like one of the big ones you shoot off or anything, but when you were growing up, was there any kind of fireworks that your family let y'all do like safely on the driveway or in the backyard? Or do you have any memories of that from being a kid?
So I'm from a really small town, and every year we would have a fireworks show, and we would go over to one of our family friends' house and we would watch the fireworks show. So we never really even wanted to shoot off the fireworks ourselves. So no, I don't have any memories of that as a child, but I do remember my small town, Fairfield, Texas. We would all go and we would watch the fireworks show on the 4th of July, and it was so much fun.
So, for real, not playing around, Piper and Kayla would like to have an autographed Miss Texas picture. They are from the crew, and they love our Miss Texas.
And they're two of our youngest members of the crew.
We're going to try and make them Lone Star Princesses.
Yes, yeah, we definitely. What is the age? And let's talk about that. What is the age for the Lone Star Princess program for the outstanding teen, and then for Miss Texas? Because I've had a number of people ask about that. They're interested in getting their daughters in, because the Miss Texas pageant at the end of the day is just a huge scholarship opportunity for young ladies. So talk to us about those other programs.
You cut out a little bit. I can't hear you now.
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now?
I can now, yes.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I was talking about, talk to us about the age for the Lone Star Princess program and the Outstanding Teen program, and then what is the age limits on Miss Texas? Because actually, after we did a live broadcast from there, we had a number of folks reach out to us about all three programs, because they're learning what a great scholarship opportunity the Miss Texas pageant is.
Absolutely. So I actually started in the Miss Texas organization as a Lone Star Princess. I was 6 years old when I first started, and the age limit for that is 5 to 12. And it's a really cool opportunity for Miss candidates and teen candidates to mentor young girls. And it's really cool because a lot of Lone Star Princesses go on to compete in the Miss Texas Outstanding Teen pageant or the Miss Texas pageant. And so I definitely grew up in the organization, and it has made me who I am today for sure. But the age limits on teen is 13 to 17, I believe.
Okay.
And then it's 18 to 25.
Excellent. And again, we can't wait to have you in studio and get pictures with you and all that kind of fun stuff. But let's talk about the scholarship opportunity this is brought to you personally, being in the Miss Texas pageant and in this world for a number of years.
So it definitely provides scholarships for anyone who competes. Everyone who competes in the Miss Texas organization walks away with some kind of scholarship. And so I am a full-time student at Baylor. I'm getting my master's degree in speech pathology. And this summer at Miss Texas, I was awarded over $20,000 in scholarships, which will be absolutely phenomenal to apply to my education. And then I will also go on to compete for Miss America, where there's even more scholarships available. So it is definitely helping so many women achieve their dreams and their goals of whatever they want to be, whether it's a lawyer, a doctor, teacher,
Right.
whatever they want to be. There are scholarships that are available to the women who compete.
I think that's just so wonderful. And, we had you on not only as a Miss Texas ambassador, but then we also had you on to talk about a book that you wrote. By the way, Dr. Good, you were on her show as well, and she says hello and congratulations. let's talk about your platform. JP and Susan Schuler and I talked about this. We were, all going back and forth via text after you won, and we were super excited. And we all came to the same conclusion that this year, your particular platform coming out of this pandemic, and you hear of kids, Mallory, and it's heartbreaking, as young as 7-year-olds, is 7 years old, attempting suicide, succeeding in suicide, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, hospitals have been filled with kids who have attempted suicide, which is just heartbreaking. And that number has grown during the pandemic. So let's talk about your extremely important and extremely relevant platform.
Yes, ma'am. So my platform is Mallory's Mission, Suicide Prevention. And like you said, I feel like now more than ever, it is so important because of coming out of the pandemic. So many things affected children's lives, but not only children, but adults as well. And we all kind of struggled a little bit with our mental health during the pandemic. And so I am so extremely excited to be able to take Mallory's mission beyond what I've been able to do in the past. I want to go into elementary schools with my book, Henry's Happy Heart, and talk to kids about asking for help. But one thing that I'm actually really excited about is I want to be able to go into college campuses because I have a training program that I created with the help of a foundation called the Jason Foundation. And it teaches college-age students the warning signs of suicide, what you can do when you recognize those signs in somebody. And I've been able to do it a little bit as a local title holder, but just being able to see this year ahead of me and all of the opportunities that being Miss Texas is going to bring, I'm just so excited because I really and truly believe that Mallory's mission can save lives.
Absolutely. And, and that's one of the times that we will have you on when you come back in studio. We just want to talk about that platform because it's crucial. We, JP and I are real big proponents of mental health and getting people to the right folks on the show. And so that just fits right in with this. It is, God has a plan for everything. And I think you were meant to be Miss Texas and compete in the Miss America competition at this particular time because there is such a need for young kids, young adults, even through adulthood to get help during this time. So they know they're not hopeless and there is hope out there.
Okay. Way serious on a Friday.
Yes. I know, but I do. I'm so proud of her platform.
I know, but Grogu called me.
Oh, Baby Yoda said.
And he said,
get back to some fun.
Yeah,
that's
way too serious.
Baby Yoda.
Way too serious.
Oh, you'll get your picture with Baby. Oh, she can get a picture with Baby Yoda when she comes in studio.
Maybe she doesn't want one with Baby Yoda.
Oh, everybody wants a picture with Baby Yoda.
Does she even know who Baby Yoda is?
Well, no, duh. Of course, everybody knows who Baby Yoda
are you
is.
Sure? All right, Mallory wins that one. Hey, by the way, Dexter Foreman says hello.
Oh, yay.
He's on the feed. All right.
And he's on the feed because he knows we're about to talk about barbecue.
Well, I told him wet versus dry, my man. Let me know. All right. Well, Mallory, we know you've got some testing to do or studying to do or something with school or actually go back to bed. Probably.
No.
Yeah, look at those eyes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she's like,
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us this morning on JP, Kathy, and the crew, and cannot wait to get you in studio.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
We're so proud of you. Blessings and congratulations.
Take care, Mallory. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. So here we go.
All
it is
right.
time. Wet versus
dun,
dry.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Hey, Chambrielle, do me a favor. Go out and find me an image on wet barbecue. Because I want people to understand what wet barbecue looks like.
You know what's funny? Because I guess I didn't...
By the way, Coach Quinton, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't mean to, but I mean...
But sorry for it.
Before I lose this, Coach Quigley said... Or no, Marvin said, wet barbecue, burnt ends dry.
Oh, see? Okay, so Marvin... You and me. Because I'm one of those that I like the charred ends, but then I like the sauce. So I'm very much a combination person when it comes to barbecue. I love a brisket that's been done with a good smoke. Nobody's surprised by that.
I mean, condiment girl.
Yeah. Okay. We have Miss Texas. I could have a crown that's a condiment queen, like a big thing of ketchup or something.
Hey, maybe we'll have Miss Texas Barbecue Photogenic Condiment Girl. That's a real thing.
Put that on a sash.
That's a real thing.
Put that on a sash.
Yep.
I love it. Okay, so here we go.
All right, so I don't know. What did you do? That's those are ribs. Woman, I'm talking about. Oh, goodness.
Chambrielle.
Chambrielle.
It looks good though. Yummy.
Now you got to put in beef. Put in brisket, wet or dry. And so, anyways, from a barbecue sauce standpoint, right? And so, wet or dry could also go your barbecue sauce versus your dry rub, right?
And you know, some people cook or smoke with the rub. Some cook or smoke with the sauce. And it's interesting. Most people who do their own barbecue, they are definitely one way or definitely another.
Well, and I'll tell you something else.
And I don't even know which way are you.
Well, when I was eating beef,
right?
Wet.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't.
I'm a wet beef guy.
And you can't eat beef.
The burnt
anymore.
ends were okay, but if I had to choose between a burnt end and wet barbecue,
You're
it
gonna
was
go
wet
with
barbecue.
wet, okay.
See, that's why I said pulled pork as well,
Here
right?
we go.
There we go. Now we're talking about it. So, and this is also something that I talked about as well, is pulled pork. Do you like your pulled pork a little drier, or do you like it a little moist? As you can see the picture on the right here, wet barbecue. That would be my deal right there. Me, I want the flavor.
So you like that?
Not just the smoke ring, but I want the flavor.
You want the flavor
of, the
of a
fat.
barbecue,
Right?
And then here's another question on your barbecue sauce. And I came across a really good one at the store the other day. It's Salt Lick, which Salt Lick has some of the best barbecue in Texas. And it's a honey pecan smoke barbecue that's just out of this world. And my mouth is literally starting to water talking about this. So, do you like sweet barbecue or do you like spicy barbecue?
Both.
Okay, so do you like?
I create a combination.
Okay, there you go. Which I'm a big fan of the combination because you kind of get that bite, but then the sweet settles in on it. So
and my favorite, if I'm going to go to the store and get barbecue sauce and not make my own,
right?
It's going to be Sweet Baby Ray's or Cattleman's Kansas City.
Love Sweet Baby Ray's. Also Stubbs. I'm a big Stubbs fan, but Salt Lick I found for the first time in the store the other day. Now I like to make my own barbecue sauce as well. You know, put in some honey, some ground pepper. Right. You know,
see, to me, Salt Lick's got a little too much vinegar in it.
This one did not, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to bring you a sample, and I meant to send you a picture of it the other day when I found it. It's because it's a honey pecan, so which I like the vinegar taste, and I like that in Salt Lick, but it doesn't. In this honey pecan, the vinegar's not as big of a bite, I guess, is how I would categorize it.
All right. So Judy Mark says, can't wait to come to Texas and try y'all's barbecue.
Oh, our Canadian friend. Yay.
Hey, I got Gail, by the way. I knew I would. She goes, ooh, moist. Just say juicy, not moist.
She hates.
Okay, but help me out here.
She hates that
What's
word.
the difference between juicy and moist? I mean, juicy? Really? They put it on girls' butts. Juicy.
Is that still a popular brand?
I don't know.
Was that a brand?
Yes,
yeah,
it
that was
a
a brand.
Marvin Johnson says, I marinate my ribs in my own made-up marinade for 24 hours.
Oh,
so
I
let's
bet
talk
that's
brisket
good.
for just a moment, Marvin.
I bet that's good.
Then we're going to come back talk ribs, right? So, okay, there you go. Judd says a little wet and dry rub. All right, I can do that. I'm all about that. So here's my question, though, Marvin. When you break out a brisket, do you pack it with a bunch of salt, and then let that sit in the not the oven, in the refrigerator overnight, and then take that out, unwrap it, and wash that salt off? Oh Lord, baby Jesus!
Oh goodness gracious me, oh my!
Well, that salt makes that thing so tender and so amazing. There
and
you
do
go.
like
right?
the coarse salt?
Yes.
Yeah, which is
Yes.
so good, so good.
Dexter says, "Ha ha, JP." Yep. So Marvin says, "No,
We
he
love
doesn't
you,
do that."
Dexter.
So I'll do that with a brisket, right? When I'm making, because I can't eat brisket anymore, but I'll make it for others. I'll do that, and then what I do is I've got this new rub that I use, and so I use a dry rub, right? And what it does is it locks in all of the juices inside the brisket.
Ooh.
And so
What's the rub?
I use the All American.
And you know where you can get that? Hershey's Meat Market.
Hershey's Meat Market. That's correct.
And they've got that, which I think you're the one who turned me on to the peppercorn and garlic.
I did. Oh, yeah.
I started doing that rub on my steaks. and it is so good. And you're right, it creates that seal.
Yeah.
Has a little bit of a crunch to it
Little crunch
on
to
the
it.
top.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's
so
called
good.
char crust.
Yes. Yep.
Chambriel, could you look char crust up and put it in the feed for me, please? And then put it up there as well. So this rub is an amazing rub. I love the rub. Coach Quigley says my son has a barbecue channel that has hundreds of followers. And Michelle, it is kind of like a brine.
Put that link in there for
what
us.
the salt does for the brisket is it helps tenderize that meat.
It does. It does.
And so that's why I use it for that. But I wash it off when I'm done.
Yes.
You gotta wash it off.
If not, there's too much salt.
Char crust, if you'll go out there and find it and throw it up there. This stuff, my butcher turned me on to this.
Yeah.
Okay. And Marvin, this is where I transition into ribs. All right. So you would think that there's no way that you could get ribs to taste as good in the oven as you can on the grill, right?
Right.
It's just something about the grill. Well, my butcher gave me a secret. Buy a huge turkey bag like a cooking bag, right?
Right.
Take your ribs and cover it with char crust. Now, and I mean, I love the All-American.
Okay.
I love the Cajun. The Cajun's way good.
Okay.
And then my favorite, my all-time favorite is the, of course, I would forget it now.
Is it the teriyaki ginger?
No.
That's a good one too.
That one's a good one too, though. No.
Which
It
one
is
is
the.
it?
It's the not Caro syrup. It's the. When she's brought it up. So let's look it up here. I will be able to find it.
Is it the original
Now,
hickory
the original
grill?
hickory I like on hamburgers.
Yeah, that roasted garlic peppercorn is the one you turned me on to that I literally love that so much.
What's that green one on the end there, Kathy?
Up there?
Go down. Right there. What's that one?
That's
say?
ginger teriyaki.
I love that one too. But there's another one. But this is char crust.
There's a Chipotle, Southwest Chipotle.
I use that one as
I have
well.
not. I have not seen that
Now,
one or
one's a little bit
tried
hot.
that one.
That one's a Good Morning America hot when you get that out.
Okay, so that's got to buy. That's
Fred,
got to buy
my butcher
to it.
is at Parker and Custer. No, Parker and Alma, between Alma and Custer on the right-hand side.
Hirsch's Meat Market is. It will be literally, and that reminds me, I need to go by there today. It will be crazy slammed. That place is as good as it gets. The meat is amazing. The seafood's amazing. The seasonings they have there, which are limited, but it's the best of the best. They've even got some sides. They've got a homemade crab dip. Have you had that before?
Oh, yeah. I've bought their crab dip.
So good.
So back to char crust, just to give you an idea. So what you do is that you kind of sear the meat on both sides. Then wrap that sucker up, put it on your grill for like 225 to 275 and let it cook all day. The char crust forms a crust around the meat and seals in all the juices. I can cook a ribeye steak, this is no joke, with char crust, well done. And when you cut it open, the plate fills with juice.
Just that good.
Just that good.
Just that good.
So with ribs, as I was saying before, you take char crust, you cover the ribs completely, put it in your cooking bag. I put a little water in there, and then put it in the morning, 8 o'clock, put them in at 225.
Okay.
Come home at 5 o'clock. When you go to pick up the rib, this is no joke, the bone comes right through.
It just falls right off.
Comes right through.
Just falls off.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Amazing. Just amazing. Hess has got a good meat market. You know, also, Ye Old Butcher Shop.
Oh, yeah, in East Plano.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually it's those individually owned kind of mom and pop butcher shops that are my favorites. And again, Hirsch's, and I send people there. I've gotten friends of mine who are hard to buy for. I'll get them a gift certificate from there. And it will be, people have pre-ordered for the 4th of July weekend. It, hit Hirsch's very quickly because they'll be selling out if you don't get there soon enough.
Right.
We should have had Gary Hirsch on the show next 4th of July. Let's have him on the show.
That sounds good to me.
That'd be fun. Oh, or let's do a remote and go taste test.
We could do that too. We could do a remote right
there.
There.
You go.
Well, he's got to agree to it. Of course.
Yeah.
We can't just go.
We can't just walk in and be like, "Hey, dude."
Now, of course, the Ye Old Butcher Shop. If you want to know what they're famous for, you can walk in and order a hamburger, or what they're super famous for is their buffalo or their elk.
Oh,
if they have it
buffalo.
in season.
I have not had their elk. I've had their buffalo, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah. And
just
so,
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing deal. They've been around since 1974. Hirsch has been around just about as long. And both guys are great butchers. They do a great job. And so big thumbs up from me to them. And I'm friends with both of them. And so love that
just
as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And then go grab yourself for the weekend some Henry's homemade ice cream. And you're good to go.
And
4th of July doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, you know, Judd, I now go out to Munster and I buy from Syracuse. My meat's out there now because I'm closer. I'm out in Aubrey now. So I go out and I do that. We need to catch up, Judd Gibson, that's for sure. So, wet versus dry, I'm a wet guy.
Yeah.
I prefer wet, and I include that in my pulled pork. I do not like a dried out pulled pork.
Interesting. Yeah, and what I do, like if I go somewhere, I'll get the sauce on the side so I can control how much I put on or dip. But I tell you what, I love the charred ends on brisket. And there's I think it's at Spring Creek Barbecue. You can get it's charred and marbled at the same time, so you get that kind of combination. So good. My mouth is still watering.
Now, Marvin, save up your quarters and your nickels and dimes. He's wanting to learn how to smoke chicken and turkey. I recommend, they've got this new meat thermometer out there that sends, it's not new anymore really, sends everything to your cell phone. And so I would recommend a triple wrap on your turkey or your chicken and put it in and just put that meat thermometer in there and just watch your meat thermometer. And that's an easy way to get a good smoked chicken or turkey as well. If you're going to do the beer can, wrap that beer can right up in it as well, and get yourself a good smoked.
Yeah, how does that beer can thing? I've never done that at home.
Really?
How does that work?
Well,
I've had it before, but I've never done it myself. Do you stick? Is it a full thing of beer?
You stick it up its butt.
I know, but is the beer in the can?
Yeah.
Do you open the can and then stick it in there? I mean, I'm assuming.
Don't leave it not open.
Oh yeah, that'd be a big old explosion. That'd be bad. You know what? You know what I added to my barbecue sauce the other night?
I gotta take my hat off. Hold on, Kathy.
Oh, face palm. So, well, I don't know because I've never cooked it before. I've had it and it's wonderful.
I know you know not to put a closed can in heat. Come on now.
Everybody's like, "Oh, great! Get the firemen warned over in Kathy's neighborhood." You know what I put? I did. It was an IPA blonde ale that I put into my barbecue sauce the other night. Really good, really good. It was a heavier beer than I've used before, but it was just really good and just.
Well, I like to use, if I'm doing beer can chicken, I like to use a Texas beer. And I will use more of a blonde.
Michelle, I know.
Because I don't want the beer.
I had to give JP an easy softball. Michelle's like, did you really just say you
open
open it?
The can, yeah.
Had to toss one over to JP.
So, and you did. It was an easy one.
I knew he would take it and run with it.
But I like to use a Texas blonde beer.
Yes,
because I don't want the flavor to overrun my chicken.
And depending on what kind of meat you're cooking, Shiner can be good. You can't go too heavy on it because you're right. Then too much of it, that flavor comes through. That's why the blonde ale, really blonde pale ale, it was like an IPA. It's the yellow one that has like pink something on it. I felt like, I don't know, it was so funny buying that at the store because I just bought the one tall, like, is it a 40 ounce or something? I don't know. I just needed one beer, and I'm not a beer drinker, so not anymore. And so I just needed the one beer, and so I kind of felt odd at the store. I'm like, well, there you go. So I'm getting a 40 ounce. Isn't that what those are called?
Look at you. You're loaded up. I got a 40.
I think that's what it's called.
Yes,
she said you can do Coke.
Absolutely.
Oh, I bet.
And Pepsi.
Or Dr. Pepper.
You can. There's Dr. Pepper chicken.
Oh, I bet that's good.
I mean, if you can think of anything, you can cook it.
I bet that's good.
So there you go. It's all you can do. All right, so wet versus dry. Folks, vote. I vote wet. I think we've got Marvin saying that he likes wet barbecue, but he likes the burnt ends dry. I think Gail says a little bit wet or moist with burnt ends as well.
Did not say moist.
And so we got some votes going, but we have not yet heard from Coach. Coach, what do you do, buddy?
Seriously.
I know, Fred, what are we doing?
What is up on that?
And maybe I missed it. Michelle, what are we doing? Lisa, what are we doing? Judy, what are we doing?
Nobody's committing.
Nobody is
And
committing.
well, let me
It's
ask
sad.
Judy: is in Canada is barbecue a big thing? I mean, obviously, no duh, it's like ginormous here in Texas, and especially in the South. But is in Canada, is barbecue a big deal?
Michelle says both.
Okay, see, I'm with Michelle. I'm with Michelle and Marvin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Susan
okay.
said that the Dr. Pepper in there is really good.
So, and Judd runs his cattle up to Hess's. There you go. All right.
Oh, very cool.
There you go.
That's
All right.
nice.
So, with that being said, with good barbecue on the birthday of America
yes.
comes
Happy birthday,
ridiculously
America.
good. Judy Mark says barbecue sucks here. I would believe that. I would believe that.
Sorry.
I bet the stew's really good.
Honey,
though.
come on to Texas. You're welcome
I
anytime.
bet the stew and the roast are
Yeah,
really
there you
good.
go.
though.
There
All
you
right.
go. Bring some maple syrup. We'll incorporate that into our barbecue sauce recipe. Y'all do have good syrup, eh?
See, I put that in my beans.
Get it, eh?
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Canadian, huh?
Okay. That fell on deaf ears. I'm sorry.
That was a wah-wah. Kara says both.
Kara says both. Ann says I did miss Coach on that deal, so I must have missed him up at the top
Oh,
there.
shoot, that it's already gone by. Okay.
All right. So fireworks. You can't have barbecue
Without some fireworks.
right?
Yep.
And so it's ridiculous what people will do with fireworks. And I've asked Jambrielle to go find me some crazy, ridiculous acts with fireworks. It's amazing that we have survived and lived thinking of what people think now is ridiculous, like sparklers in the hands.
Oh, we did those when we were kids. One of my biggest childhood memories on the 4th of July was the neighborhood we lived in. There was a bunch of kids around the same age. All the parents would get together with the kids, and we would all be allowed to do sparklers. I do have a tragic memory from that. Not tragic, but traumatic, I should say.
Well, they did a good job on your fake eye.
Oh, yeah, there you go. No, come on.
Oh, is that not what it was? Oh.
That's that reminds me of what they're doing at weddings nowadays. That's a whole nother story. Okay, so
fake eyeballs?
No.
Oh.
These ginormous sparklers. So anyway, so we're all holding sparklers. I've got on, and this is in the 70s. So what TV show was popular in the 70s that was my absolute favorite TV
Happy
show?
Days.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh, of course.
And so I had a
What was I thinking?
It was a light blue tank top. I remember it like it was yesterday. Light blue tank top with navy blue piping, and then in navy blue it said Charlie's Angels, and it had all three of the angels' faces on it. And I collected all the Charlie's Angels cards. I was just obsessed. Loved that t-shirt. 4th of July, of course, no duh, I'm wearing it. And my brother and I are out there with sparklers. We're kind of running around, burned 3 little holes in my Charlie's Angels tank top, and my mom couldn't find a replacement one. I was devastated. It's still a problem to this day.
I can tell.
And now, have y'all seen? Speaking of sparklers, when you leave a wedding, there's been the trend where it used to be rice, then it was potpourri, then it was bubbles. Now it's these big, huge sparklers that everybody holds up like this, and it makes it for a beautiful picture.
Now, was it a Russian candle or is it a sparkler?
This is it's like a big old
Smokey and the
sparkler.
Bandit.
Oh.
Kids don't play with fireworks. You got to put that where they can see it. Let the adults who have been drinking all day set them off.
And there's that.
And
And,
then
we're
there's-
kidding.
yeah.
No, but has anybody been to a wedding where the bride and the groom leave? And I've been to 3 weddings recently where this has happened. You have you do the big sparkler as they run out. Do you know I stand back behind with a sparkler not lit? My hair's flammable. I use so much hairspray. I'm like,
flammable.
somebody's like, oh, did you want me to light that? I'm like, I'm good. I'll just be doing this, staying away from all the big
That's
old
funny.
sparklers.
Now, I got a question though. Will all of the lotion you have is like a fire retardant?
Don't know. Don't want to know.
Because I don't think lotion is flammable.
Well, but
Oh,
mine
check
usually
this
have
out.
smell good
That's
stuff.
hilarious.
Oh,
You got to put that out
Where
there.
did you find
Send
that?
it. That's funny. Yeah.
Dude, okay.
How ridiculous. Put that out there. Yeah. Who doesn't do that, right?
No,
I do it every 4th.
That's again, okay, and we used to talk about this on the show. These are the, hey, hold my beer moments in life.
Yes.
Dude,
For
seriously?
Sure. Yeah, that's hilarious. Russian candle. Out
So
of his
that
pants.
that backfires? Well, that's not a good night.
Yeah, no, it's not. Dana Carvey, shoot fireworks
my
on July
gosh.
4th. Not every night for 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was way funny. I can't help it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Why
shit.
did
I
you
was
let me
like,
do these?
maybe I should be chaperoned before
No, you
before
need to
putting
keep-
these
those
out.
need to keep going up there.
Well, but there are people who literally, and that's another thing, and I hear Dr. Clothier's voice in my head. Don't be, if you are drinking, do not even handle a little sparkler. Don't light anything. One thing when my kids were little and we would go on the driveway and we would do, and one of my favorite things, and I still don't know how they work, but it's like the little glowworm, and it's like a little black pellet, but then all of a sudden it puffs up and becomes like this
It
big
was a snake. Yeah, it was a snake.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So, but we always had, the kids always knew we had a couple of small fire extinguisher cans from Home Depot or Lowe's out on the driveway. Nobody was out there with a beer. Nobody was drinking anything. Just be smart. Do not have the, hey, hold my beer. This isn't a beer. This is sparkling water.
No, it's a beer.
But, yeah, okay, come on. That's
It's a
why it's
beer.
covered up in my bucket.
That's exactly right, because it's a beer.
Because inquiring
a beer.
minds want to know. But
Lone Star
just
beer.
be safe. Just be
It's a beer.
safe. If you're swimming, if you're out at the lake, you've got to at least have one designated not drinking
Fred.
adult.
Okay, this is Friday. Quit being so.
Oh, I know. Don't be so serious.
Yeah, you're like,
we don't need a safety PSA.
Yeah, we don't. You got this.
We don't need a safety PSA.
You've got your bitter beer face on. Stop it.
Oh, hey, Coach Quigley said not a fan of home use of fireworks ever, so not even
Right.
sparklers or anything.
See, and I want to talk about that. for a
Okay,
moment.
yeah.
So,
and what are you going to do with Carter?
well, we've got 34 acres.
So you've
And
got some land to
I've got
burn.
17 acres on the other side of the creek.
Yeah.
That I will light fireworks off. Because
Okay.
we've actually got the big fireworks. So
Okay. Oh,
I'll take
fun.
I'll take out the wood and put the fireworks on there and shoot them off from there. And anyways, so I want to talk about that for a moment though. Some of
Yeah.
my best memories,
Right.
were
From childhood.
was the family barbecue.
Yeah.
And in Fresno, California, anyways, they would sell fireworks all up and down the road, right? So my grandfather and my uncle and my dad would go out and get all a bunch of fireworks. Kids, of course, were not. We did get the little snakes and that kind of thing, but we had the tables outside. We're eating watermelon. We're having barbecue. We're eating hot dogs, hamburgers.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can't wait for the sun to start going down, right?
Because you know what's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
so my uncle would put the Chinese, it was like a pinwheel on the telephone pole, and we're getting ready. And it was, I think it was just as fun watching my uncle run out of the middle of the road
After he set it off.
after he set it off, as
Yeah.
much as watching the firework, right? And the neighborhood would all come out because they knew we did. And we're talking about a little 1,400 square foot home. We're not talking
Right.
about ginormous. We're talking about Americana.
Right.
When Happy Birthday America meant something.
When everybody loved the 4th of July because they were patriotic and they
Right.
loved our country. Best commercial, the 1976 bicentennial commercial, Coke. Everybody's in red, white, and blue. Uncle Sam, Betsy Ross, greatness. And it
Yeah.
was okay to be patriotic and have
Yeah.
pride for your country.
Marvin-
which we still do, and the
Marvin
crew
says you're a
does.
bit melodramatic.
Have you met me?
Fred goes, stop being a mom, Kathy. Let us play.
I saw that.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. So some of my best memories, Coach, come from a adult monitored, safety first kind of thing. And everything can be done properly, right?
Right,
And so
right.
I would never, I remember my grandpa, my grandma, my aunts. I remember
Yep.
all my cousins. That's what we did. And it was, again, a neighborhood thing. And these, again, weren't big homes. These were little old hard-working blue-collar homes, and just had a really nice time every 4th of July. And
Yeah.
so...
And kids just
but
don't
how-
get the same memories. I mean, now
Right.
there's big firework display things you can go to. Now, a lot of times, if you're fortunate, and we've got some friends, their home is positioned so well that you can see like the Richardson fireworks, Plano fireworks. You can see different city fireworks around there. It's it's just so sad that people don't get all excited about the 4th of July. I think some people are like, oh, it's a 3-day weekend, or oh, I get to drink beer, or I get to go to the lake. What about, and I know I'm preaching to the choir with you, JP, and with the crew. What about how exciting our country is a year older, and we're still the greatest nation on God's green earth?
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you, and of course, this is going to get just a wee bit more serious, right? And I'm taking it that way
Now,
because
I was a mom. Now he's being a dad.
I am. Because really, what does celebrating America's birthday mean? Does it mean that we are calling our forefathers racist? Does it mean that we're wanting to take the rotunda down because there aren't multiple races represented? It wasn't the way in the day. And in the way of the day, we have what we have because of those men and their families. And I'm saying men. In that time frame, there were no women in the midst of that Continental Congress.
You know what's? And you know, here's the.
But
crazy,
they were at home taking care of the home.
I'm not. They were a huge part of America, because if they weren't there to support their family, take care of their family, take care of the homestead, and I'm not talking about just dusting. I'm talking about they're out on the land, you know, making sure there's food to be put on the table. As a woman, this again. History has changed. I get to vote now. Heck, I've held 2 different elected offices.
Right.
We're, you know, if you're offended by this, by JP talking about the men that founded our country, this probably isn't the show for you.
Right. I mean,
because it's no disrespect to women.
It's not.
It's just these were men who stood up as leaders, who, against great odds, gave us the opportunity to sit here and banter back and forth every day.
Well, and the family homestead was being taken care of by the wife. When John Adams left his home, you know that Abigail Adams knew there was a chance that she could be hung. And so her job was to take care of those kids in the homestead and defend it.
And hence the reason the Second Amendment to this day is so important, because you go back and you think of the history of where that came from. Yeah, your husband's at the Continental Congress. Right. You're alone with the kids. You got a big old shotgun.
So Chambriel, I don't know if you can find it, and we will get blocked, by the way, which is fine. I don't care. See if you can find Toby Keith's new release of "Happy Birthday America." If we can play it, it was debuted this morning.
Maybe play just a couple of minutes, 30 seconds of it or something before they shut us off.
Yeah, it was debuted on Fox News this morning, and just an amazing song. And the words could speak no truer to what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
And so, Chambriel, when you find it, let me know, and I will shut up.
Happy birthday,
here we go.
America.
Listen to these words. And we're going to get blocked. I don't care.
It's the 4th of July. I get to wake up in your freedom.
And this made me cry this morning, by
the way. Seem like everybody's pissing on the red, white, and blue. Happy birthday, America. Whatever's left of you.
Oh, that just hits you in the heart.
You were the darling when you saved the world. WW1 and 2. France would just be part of Germany now. If it hadn't been for you. Now your children wanna turn you in to something other than yourself. They burn your flag in their city streets more than anybody else. Happy birthday, America.
And we better shut it off, or else I know for sure.
Oh, we're already done. They're
you think they're shutting us down anyway?
To hell with them. This is America. This
Yeah, Coach Quigley said Michael Quigley has a great 4th of July song, and he does. I wish I would have thought to bring my CD back in.
Folks, have a happy 4th of July. Be safe.
Be blessed. Take care of yourself.
And if you get a chance, go back and listen to this Toby Keith song. It is
we need to put it in the link. You're tearing up, but it is. It's just.
How do we get this way? If we don't change this country quick, we're going to lose it.
We've got to get back on track. We've got to get back to the days where, like everybody who's on our feed today, they celebrate America. They're so proud to be Americans. They're so grateful for America. We've got to get back to where it's cool to be patriotic. That's the way it should always be. We live in the greatest country on God's green earth, and we're just very blessed. And we're blessed to have the crew. We love you. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Have a happy Independence Day.
Be blessed. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
cities by the left's design.